Hey everyone, it's been 2 weeks. I was actually away on holidays, so the greenhouse has been on its own. I've had my parents come over and water it once while I was away, but it's really been relying on the irrigation system. And in fairness, it's done all right. Um, the temperature has really dropped. So look, it's now hitting 3 degrees last night, and it was really cold. We were abroad in Turkey, and we could really feel it this morning when we woke up. So I'm just going to show you very quickly. Things are obviously it's almost the end of September. It is the end of September. So things are really starting to die back, and you can see that with some of the plants. So I'll show you. We have our lovely pumpkin still coming along. There's some more up here, but I don't know if it's too late. Still have some pickles, so I'm going to pick them now. We have more pickles in there. Look at this winter squash. There's more. There's two big ones down here that are ready. There's more coming along in here, which is great to see. So I'm going to leave them grow away and do their thing. There's some more here. There's some courgettes still growing along here, which is fantastic. And the aubergines are null and void as far as I'm concerned. Lots of tomatoes, but you can see the tomato plants are starting to die back. So I'm going to pick as many tomatoes as possible, and I'm going to make up another batch of passata. I ran out of jam jars, so I'm just going to freeze them in Ziploc bags. So, and then I'll have it for the winter. But look how quickly or how much the passion fruit has grown in the last 2 weeks. It's just really decided it's going to take off. And it's weird because it's coming to the end of the year. You can see my orange tree, tangerine tree. Something has got in and eaten some of them, but not to worry. They're not really for eating this year anyway, so it's fine. The lemons are all coming along just lovely. Sorry, that might have been a bit blurry. So there's the avocados. So I'm going to be bringing in these two avocados inside. I will do it this week. These are also papayas, and then I have the larger papaya down here. So they're all going to be coming inside because they're not going to enjoy the cold weather. So I'm going to bring them in. The cherry tomato is on its last legs. I'll show you outside. So still plenty of raspberries coming along. The beans, the wind got it and this was completely blown over. But look at the size of these corn. So I'm going to give them a little while longer. I've never actually really successfully grown corn, so it's fantastic. I've got all my red onions and I've got white onions in here. So they're all going to be ready for harvest soon. I'm going to leave everything for another week or two just to see how it does, because even though it's getting cold at evening time, it is warm during the day, and we're actually really lucky at the moment. There's a hedge behind our house and it was getting quite tall, and they've clipped it back. The farmer, whoever, clipped it back, and it's letting in way more sunlight into the garden. So definitely in the evening time, when I came back yesterday evening when we were here and I came into the greenhouse, it was actually still really nice and warm. So you can see like there is a huge fluctuation in temperature. It's going from 46, at the moment it's 15, it's going down to 3. So I'm not overly worried. Once the day temperatures get back up, then the plants are fine. And I'm going to just watch the weather forecast, and if I start to see that it's really going to drop back down, especially during the day, then I'm going to move the more plants in, and I'll probably pull up some of these plants. Look at my lovely chilies. I was leaving them to ripen, and successfully it looks like they have, so I'm delighted with that. This plant should be absolutely fine for next year. Same with the peppers, even though you can see what damage the slugs did, but that's going to happen. So that's it, guys. I apologize for those of you that have watched every week and you didn't get one update for the last 2 weeks, but this is kind of a blend of the both. And I suppose in reality, these videos I'm probably going to stop making them probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because there's just not going to be anything happening here. I'm going to let the greenhouse rest, and then come next year, then we'll come back at this and get going again, and hopefully even get going a little bit earlier in the year. Yeah, so it's great. The pumpkin is definitely growing up nice and big. But that's been it, guys. I will be putting up other videos. I'm soon going to be, for those of you that know me outside of Instagram or outside of YouTube, you'd know that I work part-time as a reflexologist and a life coach, and I also do Reiki. And in 2 weeks' time, I've always been doing it part-time, but in 2 weeks' time I'm going to be I've always been doing it in the evening times and the weekends, but in 2 weeks' time I will be doing it far more on Wednesdays, all day Thursdays and all day Fridays. So I will start blogging about that experience or vlogging about that experience, and I suppose going through the whole experience of building and starting a business, especially a holistic business in Ireland, and how it goes. But we still have loads of even flowers coming along, so it is great. I do see that next week the weather is to slightly be warm during the day, up to 17 degrees during the day. So if we could just keep the frost at bay for another month, it would be amazing. And I've always said that I wanted to keep this growing until October, or going until October, and that was to extend the growing season, because if this was all outdoors, this would all be finished by now. So we'll just keep going. So guys, as always, thank you so much. Please do like and subscribe. I always really appreciate all your lovely comments and your support. And I will pop up a recipe, hopefully some stage this week, about how to make some form of passata and just use up those excess tomatoes. I will be using all these winter squash as well for soup. I love them in winter soup. But look, there's even one up there. I don't know if you can see it. So this really didn't do great during the summer. Like these were the only two that kind of came. But now there's those two, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 that I can see, which is great. They're going to be fab. So have a lovely week. And I'll be back on hopefully on Sunday, and I'll give you an update of what went down this week. So I will be definitely trying to take some of these out and just reduce the amount of leaves and foliage. But my compost bin is completely full, so I need to get that emptied, and then I'll be able to add these to the compost bin.